So we decided that we will be continuing with the maandamano. The maandamano or demonstrations, so that we can give the real information to our president and see if it could help. I remember a lot of police, or rather the security, were brought. Hata tulitolewa kwa ile hoteli na askari wengi sana, and we were told to disappear. So we shifted to another hotel, I don't want to mention its name, within the Moi Girls route. As we were planning to rethink of the words of our leader, we said we were doing a press conference so that we can give them a chance to do their devolution. And if they are true to their words, if they will honor whatever they had promised, then it will be okay. At the time we were giving out the press conference, and we said that we are calling off the demonstrations, and so we allow leaders to do their devolution. In fact, I was among the people who spoke on that conference. At that evening, or the middle afternoon of that day, we heard from the sources of media houses that Honorable Jackson Mandago, former governor of Uasin Gishu, and other 3 have been arrested by the DCI, and they were taken to. Former governor of Uasin Gishu was arrested, and that evening nakumbuka kulikuwa na a lot of issues that had come out of it, about the issue of the Finland, and now all the media stations were on it. Now many of us thought that maybe it is a step of 1,000 kilometers to justice. I don't want to call it 1,000 because it has been really a more than 1,000. It doesn't call that. Let me call it was just a sign of some breadth to many of us. But as I was telling you, when I saw the charge sheet of this program, I don't know. And I know the DCI is an independent institution in our country, and as I'm the citizen of this country, I really respect those institutions. I really believe that the people who are there are more competent, and they were given that opportunity to be in those offices because of the capability and the ability to offer justice, to offer sanity, and to bring peace to this country. But when I saw the charge sheet, I don't want to believe that it was wrong. I don't want to believe that. Let me say maybe the officers who were concerned in this thing did their investigations in their capacity, and the people whom they met to give them information about this program, those are the information they were given, and that's what they printed. I, as a person who was a leader of Finland students with other colleagues of mine, at one point or at any other point, I was not summoned to be asked given a single question. We tried to find out from across the board, be it from parents, be it from the students. And when I talk about students, I don't mean students who these are the people of different ages. We have a student even who is a family member, who is a professional person. We had a colleague from Finland, mwenye alijiua, and as per today we say may his soul rest in eternal peace. Alijinyonga because of the hardships that he encountered. This is part of what people went through. So when I saw the charge sheet, I noticed some mistakes, because when you see it very well on issues of the establishment of the program, when you see the dates of if some events that they were speaking about, and also the major witnesses. I don't mean that I am biased to anyone, but tell me why a student who enrolled in a program in the year 2021 October will not be a key witness to this program than a student who joined in a program in the year 2023, being the last cohort that never made it to that place. Reason, maybe the student has been outspoken, or maybe I don't know how the officers take or maybe they use criteria to use to get the key witness. But when you hear someone like Mercy Tarus and 99 others going against a person like Honorable Jackson Mandago as a key witness to the events that Honorable Jackson Mandago did with these officers or with these officers, it doesn't make sense to me. Because tell me that when Mandago was leaving office and handing over to Honorable Chelilium, at that point of 2022 towards 2023, as the time they were still enrolling to other students, I believe this is what the transition is, what major things happen. So why should you take a student for Finland who enrolled in the year 2021, who was handled by Honorable Jackson Mandago at that time, who was welcomed to the program by the Honorable Jackson Mandago and his officers, to go against to the bench and testify against him? Tell me, how will a student who joined and was welcomed by Honorable Jonathan B stand on a bench in a court and testify against Mandago? At what point did they meet? That's the charge sheet. Tell me why you mention an amount which doesn't match with the amount that it was real, or that was real on the ground. In the charge sheet, and all of us have heard in the news that over 1 billion was lost. Taking a lot of considerations, if I was the officer, I should have come to know how many students really enrolled, how much were they paying, how much was sent to school, how much was done what, and where did the money lost. But just doing a summation of 1 billion being lost, I don't think you are giving me a justice in court, because I believe a court will follow the facts. Why don't you call a student like me to tell really what transpired in the year 2021, so that when another student of the year 2023 will come and testify on his point of what really transpired by then? Because the legal people who are getting me today, I want us to really bring our minds together. You are arresting a leader using, I can call it, a faulty sheet. From the knowledge I have not undermined any court, I have not undermined any institution, and if I have done so, I apologize. But I've gone to school also. We want to see the logicness of everything. You want me, being part of a person or a student who wrote a statement to justify against the atrocities and the injustice that they were done to me.
Benjamin Cheboson was one of them. Cheboson deferred at 4th year from one of the local universities after he secured a slot in the Finland education program. Today, he would be a nursing student at Laurea University of Applied Sciences in Finland, should all have gone according to plan, but instead, he works as a supervisor at one of the social joints in Eldoret town, a job he took up after he ran out of options.
My dreams are shattered. I don't know what I have to do, because I can't do this job for the next 10 years. I'm growing old. I'm growing, being a person whom I have to start a family in some time to come. I have to start a career. But now I don't have anything to call a career.
And when I write my statement explaining really what happened, and then when I go to court, the question I'm asked is absurd. When I go to court, I face an environment where I don't feel this is the reality. Let's call a spade and a spoon a spoon. At the end of it, there are over 100 witnesses being expected in the ongoing Nakuru court case against Honorable Jackson Mandago, the current senator of Uasin Gishu, against Shadrach Rono and Joseph Lele, and one who didn't manage to, I don't know what really happened with institutions. They never managed to, somebody called Maritime, who was also mentioned by the DCI, who never managed to call him. So tell me, how will a judge use the facts in line with the other statements and the facts in line with the charge sheet? If the charge sheet was changed, it's fine and okay. But why will an account from Eldoret West Bank, KCB, called the Trust Fund, one account with the machinery of the DCI will take more than 3 years to go through, cross-check, and see what the problem was? Sometimes in this country, we really need to question the systems. There's some madness in it. When you do a case, and I believe, and I have really in mind with the respect of the court, the courts of our country, they are working on justice. You don't deny that. You have given many of us a chance to stand in court. But then, if I'm talking about over 100 witnesses, and when you call a court case in a week, you call only 3 in a week, and you postpone the case for more than 4 or 5 months, I don't understand. I'm not a lawyer, but what I know is that this case is going to take more than 10 years. Tell me about that woman who sold her 3 acres to take watoto wake shule. Tell me of that grandfather you saw in the television crying.
Sababu tulilipa pesa kaunti kwa kaunti. Kama hakuna pesa, ambia sisi hakuna pesa. Sinaona mimi nitakwenda uza shamba ngine. Sababu mimi nataka mtoto aende kusoma.
Of selling his land also. Tell me of that woman also mwenye alituambia aliuza shamba yake anaishi kwa plot. Ndio msichana akaenda shule a change kwake. Tell me that. Tell me of a person mwenye ako kwa grave size, one of our friend alikufa because alikuwa anafanya kazi in Nakuru here in an hospital being paid over 30,000, but because alitaka kwenda kuongeza masomo never managed, aliacha job. With the current issues in our country, how do you expect the family of that young person to continue? Tell me a person mwenye ameshikwa na stroke some part of Ziwa, mwingine ananas maneno za pressures. How do these young people manage their mental health? Tell me with the 10 years. When we speak, you say we do a court contempt. Tunienda kuongelea these things in the media, mnatuambia we are talking of issues that are in court. Really now, guys? Really now, for those officers who are listening to me and they will be getting these clips, is it fair? How fair it is? Following up, okay, let's wait for 10 years. Following up with this thing of now the charge sheet and the witnesses being jeopardized and everything. After 10 years, tupata the case imetupiliwa mbali. So after 10 years, there is the time we start now filing other case to seek for maybe reconsiderations. The unfairness that is going on in our country is beyond a disaster. I'm calling it a disaster because it's not even in this perspective, but we have seen it all across the board. This is where I'm going now. After mentioning the issues of the charge sheet, and now the witnesses, after they told us to write the issues of the issues of statements we wrote, many of us wrote, and many of us have been called to court. But then there are issues that are so questionable that is going on in courts. My mother went to court some other time, and because she was called to come and testify from Eldoret to Nakuru. Being a business lady, she had to close her business for her to be there. But arriving in court, she was told that she could not manage to testify that day, and she should come back the next day. The frustrations. Coming all the way from Eldoret, you can't tell my mother. You can't tell me my mother will have to have to get a house there and sleep so that she can come tomorrow. Is it fair? I've just used an example of my mother. Tell me about 10 other people who are told the same. How will that be adjusted to anybody? When you talk now of these issues in anywhere in parts of Uasin Gishu, they're telling you hiyo vitu ishamalizwa, tulishamaliza hiyo maneno. Does it mean that there are some witnesses, because I have witnessed that, they are coming with their positive words to those who are charged against this case? They are coming with the positive words. Is it because they are paid something? What do you mean when you are telling me that if it tulimaliza? Are there people who are given back their money without others knowing? But if it is, tell us, we cancel this case and save some money for the machinery of our country's institution of DCI, so that we can also go, some of us can be given our monies and continue our lives. We don't have a problem with anyone. We don't have to politicize these issues. If Honorable Jackson Mandago, you are creating a name for you for the future of your politics, is well and good. We support you. How will you want a member of your community to support you when he or she in her mind knows that there is something of hers or his he gave you, not because you are helping him, but for the sake of his home, of his daughter, of his boy, of his mother, for the sake of the wife or the husband? How do you expect that to happen? So we are seeing your bloggers all over. They want to just shut down anyone who speaks among these things. You're telling us about the court issues. Even if saizi you call a meeting, they'll tell you there's a court contempt, you're speaking about the issues in court. Let it be. Or if there is another way to call these things the way I'm calling it, I'm ready to be guided about this. You want me to write letters to the ODPP? You want me to write letters to the DCI requesting them? Don't we know you? As a young person, I don't have a name. Will anybody listen to me? I'm not lecturing anyone, but then let's really broaden our minds and think about this. Najua kila mtu sasa ameendelea na maisha yake, but then consider the justice of those few who are still doomed in this issue. And if you are a leader and you're listening to me today, kama kuna watu waliamkiwa asubuhi kule Uasin Gishu na wakalipwa pesa zao ndio wakuja frustrate wengine, kindly give us a break. Give us a break. Do not be used by these politicians. These are politicians. As much as their leaders are respected, we are the people who are electing them. And we don't want us to be in streets shouting. People will be talking about we are trying to deprive someone political landscapes or anything. Nobody support us. The only thing we are asking is the justice for these people. And I don't understand why will the institutions be quiet, because the time we sounded that the DCI information that they have, or rather the evidence they have, does not really have a lot of weight to carry this case. And the institution of EACC has a lot of evidence that are more factual. And I want to say it's factual because I was there. Najua vitu iliendelea. Kwa nini nasema ile information nimesikia iko na EACC ni factual? Is because they mentioned the number of students who are going to Finland, the number of students who are going to Canada, the number of students who travel and the money they paid, the number of students who never travel and the money they paid, the number of amount of money that deposited at this time and the amount of money. Tell me if the court will not make sense with that. Now you're giving courts a lot of nonsense so that they're carrying this issue for a very long time. I don't want to say someone is being bribed to carry the case for a very long time, but then maybe it's the nonsense that they're being given. And if the institutions are listening to me, why should you not come and collect this information from us, the victims? Who are you? Who are you maybe interviewing for these issues? I don't know how investigations are done. But we believe in some part of last year, the Citizen TV aired information of EACC having enough evidence. And the case was to be transferred from DCI to EACC. We supported it with all our hearts. What happened? I want to sound this to the ODPP, and we trust you and we believe that you are going to do something about this. Me speaking about this is not because I want something from anyone. I want somebody to listen and figure out where is the problem. We want to carry this case to the verdict point. We know where the case, what is the result of this issue. If the evidence are not enough for this case to be verdicted on our favors, at least I get a result. And if really there's enough evidence for this case to be verdicted on my favor, I get justice. And my parents will get a rest in their hearts knowing that they really had some justice. But also, we want also the person who is being victimized, or maybe is not those who are suspected to have carried on these things illegally, we want them also to get justice. If it means that they didn't take that money to their pockets, we want to know where is that money, so that all of us can go and look for them and maybe try and go back to our lives. Everyone was wishing well to another. But if any others were having alternative motives, then I want to sound this today. It doesn't have that you will kill everyone to silence this issue. You will not kill Benjamin today, and I don't mean that somebody has threatened me. No. You will not kill me or silence me today, so that this thing will not be spoken about. Even if it takes the years you will take. Things that are recorded are recorded. Things that are in record are in record. And it will replenish. It will come back. So long as many of us are still breathing, so long as many of us have these opportunities. And I want to ask God that He may keep all of us, including those who have alternative motives to this program, to give us a very good health so that we can meet some other time, if not justice, on some platform. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the public, having said that, I want to say that Finland Canada issue is more or bigger than it should have been. These are the issues that political class are using it to maybe make others lose some publicity, make others maybe be seen as corrupt for their benefit. Ladies and gentlemen, our elders of our community, parents, my uncles, my aunties, my brothers and sisters, my siblings, I want us to have a thought in this. Whenever the time comes for political class to organize themselves, the consideration of a local mwananchi or a common mwananchi is never considered. When a political class consider to save themselves, even the justice of a common mwananchi will be misguided by the fact of they will look for lawyers to defend against. They know them. I want to ask for this. It's time for us now that we have to supply these things to the best possible way we have. If you are a leader outside there and you're trying to politicize the issues of Finland, Canada, kindly let the mothers, let the fathers, those who are ailing get well. Let the young people who cannot get a lawyer, a young person who cannot get a chance to replenish or review her mental health issue and is still struggling for that, and a change of life, let her, he or her have peace. This peace itakuja aje tu. The only thing we are asking is that kindly leaders indulge together in this. We are not asking that this thing tunataka favor. Take these facts to courts, allow the court, let the court be so fast to do this verdict. We want peace. I want to sit and continue with my life with a lot of peace in my mind, knowing that I lost it or I won it. It's about justice. It's not about who is more courageous than other, who is doing what. I know politics are coming here. And I want to tell the bloggers of our respected Senator, Mandago, be respectful people, boy. Stop the shenanigans and the bullshit you have against us. We are just victims. when we sound to ask for justice, doesn't mean we want to brief your publicity. I wonder even, or I doubt if you still have it. Personally, I don't have anything against anyone. But when these things are done, and as a young person who am a leader of many people, I feel very bad. I want to stand hatutasimama mahovu haya yakitendeka. We will come out, we will say these things. For the position of the EACC and the DCI, together with the ODPP, we want the prosecutions to be done in a justice way. If there's enough evidence uko kwa EACC, carry this case to EACC, let the EACC start the investigation and start the case so swiftly. We are ready to write statements to go and stand and speak the truth about this. And when the verdict will be done, we want everyone to get his or her own justice. Otherwise, I want to thank you everyone who have listened to me today. I'll still be back to this particular show and speak about these things. There are a lot of facts that I'll be bringing up to you. I'll be bringing to you on how the KCB Bank was manipulated. I'll be speaking to you on how the MOU between the Finland and the Uasin Gishu County was depleted, and the Finland government were off to their business, and they said they didn't want anything against with the Uasin Gishu government. I will be speaking on how the Canada institutions refunded the money of those who their money had reached to school. I will be speaking about each and every leader who were in the office of this program, mentioning their names and also their roles and how they participated. And I'll be speaking on how the frustrations they made to the Deputy Governor, John Barorot, so that this thing will be silenced. Many people don't know why John Barorot left. He hasn't sent me here to say about this, but we believe because I worked with him in his office as a leader of Finland, Canada, there is something. I'll be bringing back to you in the next recording. See you. Bye-bye.